there are two things, two views on the screen, a left and a right eye, because I stream this stereoscopically, meaning that we can watch the videos or the stream or anything like that with a Google Cardboard, and you can watch it in 3D, and you can get a much better sense of what it's like to have a headset on when you watch that. And then people always say like, well, but then you're losing a lot of screen space, right? Because you have two things instead of one. When in reality, if I were to only have one, it would just be like the left one, but moved into the center. And then there would be just a whole bunch of blank space. But then you also might say that, well, then you could just use the desktop view that fills the full rectangular spectrum. But I can demonstrate something briefly here where I can show you the difference between streaming the desktop version compared to streaming the direct viewport from the headset. First of all, if I was doing the desktop version, you would not see this. You wouldn't be able to see me doing any of this interactivity with the interface. Like, I want to show people what it's like to have a Vive and how you interact with it. And people say like, can you read the chat? Well, no, you can see me reading the chat. So that proof right here that it actually works that way. But if I was streaming the desktop version of a VR game, you wouldn't see any of this. You wouldn't see what it's like to interact with it. So like, for example, if I go to Job Sim, which I might actually do if the other games don't go on too long. This is just a good demonstration. So it has this, okay. So this is how Job Sim looks when I stream it.
Get to work.
Normally with left and right eyes. Then if I were to just do, this might screw it up. If I were to just do one eye, it would just look like this. And you'd be like, what is that awkward shaped thing on, what is it? Your right? My left? Am I pointing the right way? Something like that. So it would just look like this if I just had one eye. It'd be a waste of space, wouldn't be stereoscopic, so I'm just thinking you might as well do both. And oh jeez. Gotta do all of this business. Okay, are we back? All this technical stuff. Okay, and then if I do the desktop version, it would look like this, which you would get more pixels. You get a higher res version of scrawny old monotonist. So you would see more of me, but you would see a much more narrow field of view for the game, meaning that most of my hand movement, like, whoop. So most of the hand movement when you're playing this game is at about this height. So if I'm interacting with stuff, you wouldn't see a lot of what my hands are actually doing because the field of view is so narrow. It's like really zoomed in and you're missing a lot of the action. It's more like you could read things more clearly at a distance. But then when I go back to this, it's like a fisheye view. You can see what my hands are doing much more clearly, and you get a better sense of what it would feel like to have the headset on for yourself. I mean, it's harder to read things. Like, you probably would not be able to see that it says JobBot on the bottom there, but you're seeing more around you. So I don't know, that's my thought process for doing it in this view. Plus, almost nobody streams like this or makes VR videos this way, and I like to be unusual, and I like to just do that. So anyway, I wanted to talk about that.